Feed your mind. Feed your mind.
You've been living in a dream world, Neo.
Swallow this.
What is it?
It's a symbol of your desire to return to reality. Inside your dream, you'll fall asleep.
All right. Let's say you're telling the truth and this is all a dream. Then I could pull this trigger and it won't matter.
And so the theory follows that maybe we're in the simulation. Have you thought about this? And
a lot.
Are we?
Even in hot tubs?
No.
So much so it had to be banned from a hot tub.
No. We're not here. This is a dream.
Deja vu.
What did you just say?
Nothing, just had a little deja vu.
Have you ever had deja vu, where you link the memory to something that you dreamed about in the past? Days, weeks, months, and even years before the onset of deja vu. This is known as déjà rêve, or already dreamed. During your deja experience, have you ever thought, did I dream this? Then quickly dismiss that thought as coincidence. If you can honestly answer yes to any of these questions, then take the red pill and watch this video. I will show you just how deep this rabbit hole goes. If you haven't and want to take the blue pill, just shut this video off, as you are probably not ready for this depth of information.
I am the dreamer. You are the dream.
There is an idea that leading-edge physicists and mathematicians are taking very seriously. Evidence has come forward that suggests the possibility that we may exist in a simulation or a virtual reality. That reality is information, and matter, time, and space are emerging properties of information processing. This idea suggests that reality is not physical. Rather, it is rendered like how a computer renders the contents of a video game. The problem with this is that it lends to the idea that there is a computer by which our reality runs on, and based on our current technological advances, one might believe that it is an advanced alien civilization playing a game of Sims of which we are the avatars and they are the players. Elon Musk believes that this reality has 1 in a billion chance of being our base reality.
To follow that, the odds that we're in base reality is 1 in billions.
Meaning that the other 999,999,999 to 1 chance that this is a simulation. Nick Bostrom, father of the simulation hypothesis, bases his idea similar to Elon in that advances in computation can achieve enough processing power to run a simulation of which we could already be a part of. Using nothing more than procedural algorithms, a video game called No Man's Sky can simulate a digital universe composed of 16 quintillion planets running on nothing more than a modern-day multi-core CPU. The relationship to mathematics and our reality has been a focal point of Max Tegmark's book, The Mathematical Universe. Could mathematical procedures similar to No Man's Sky be enough to simplify even our reality? Could our reality be a type of procedurally generated simulation? That is one current idea being proposed. You can see how quickly, if current evidence is accepted and future evidence confirms that we are in a rendered reality, will lead to the idea that an alien computer exists, and scientists here would quickly go looking for it. The paradox of this is that you can never see the CPU from within the simulation. To do so, one would have to be like Deadpool and break the fourth wall. You can only see the CPU from outside the simulation. Thus, scientists would chase an answer to which they would never know, thus it would only ever be a theory. What about those anomalous dreams that come true? If you've made it this far, I will assume that you have this experience and you know what I'm talking about. If you haven't, then you didn't take the blue pill, of which now I will have to double my efforts to describe an alien experience of which you are not yet aware of from your own personal perspective. Take that experience and put it up against this old age thought paradox. What came first, the chicken or the egg? Then ask this question: what came first, the dream or reality? Through this experience of déjà rêve, you may already know this answer. The dream came first. This anomaly has somehow broken the fourth wall and defied everything you thought you knew about time, space, and reality. This may leave you wondering how. What is the explanation? How can a dream in the past become an event in the future? This sounds just as odd as Einstein describing spooky action from a distance, where once known classical laws were challenged when particles started behaving strangely, demonstrating wave-particle duality and non-locality. Even today, physicists still struggle to answer how spooky action from a distance functions in a material world. Thus, we now find why the idea of virtual reality theory better suits the explanation, as it allows for this phenomena. If dreams exhibit spooky action from a distance, then perhaps we need to investigate a new take on the simulation hypothesis, branching into the dream hypothesis with a fresh perspective drawing from this anomalous dream known as déjà rêve. If the criteria for a virtual reality is information and powerful computation, where else aside from computer technology do we see this relationship? Have you ever simulated a reality as real as the one you are experiencing right now? You would be lying if you said no. Your dreams are an example of you using highly organized thoughts as the programming language of dreams and your subconscious mind as the computer. You are simulating reality right now. Your senses are taking in objective information and your mind is rendering an interface which becomes your experience of reality. Don't believe it? Close your eyes. The visual information is turned off and the mind stops rendering visual data in your interface. This ability to simulate reality is not exclusive to dreaming, as it is a part of everyday life. We are walking, talking reality rendering farms. Our entire existence derives experience from information. This ability derives itself from a network of cells that facilitate the processing of information, starting with sensory organs that interpret objective data, transcodes that data into electrical signals which travel through a network of nerve cells which sends the data to specific regions of the brain specialized in processing the signals and outputting the end result of this processed information as a mind-generated rendering of reality. What is this final rendered product of information processing? How do different regions of the brain network together to output a view of the world where you can see great distances into space when the space this is taking place are localized to small dark regions of the brain? Unlike a computer where the output goes to your monitor, the brain does something even more extraordinary. It virtualizes the screen in a type of mind-generated hologram. The space you observe in your mind is Cartesian, the result of spatial approximations by the very small regions in the brain. The brain is simulating the space you see in objective reality using autonomous cellular calculations that plot phosphene fractal geometry as the manifold underlining the spatial forms. Did you know that dreams also use phosphene fractal geometry as part of its spatial simulations? This natural neural geometry exposes itself both in dream experiences and waking experiences. Many entheogens interrupt this processing, causing it to bleed out into perceptions, causing the reports of many users to claim that they see geometry and fractals blending in with their hallucinatory experience. What is a phosphine fractal? Have you ever pressed softly on your eyes and saw a swirling mass of fractal-like geometry? The pressure causes stress on your optical nerve, exposing this neural geometry that naturally fits in with how spatial calculations in your brain form a naturally occurring geometry. For me, this fractal field looks like a yellow swirling triangles with a black center and yellow outlines. Have you ever seen this pattern naturally occurring during sleep without stressing out your optical nerve? It is this visual processing pattern that branches out and forms the spatial depths of a dream. We don't notice this process when awake because the final product of the rendered experience happens so quickly that it largely goes unnoticed. This pattern can appear during meditation and progressing into a dream consciously as an underlying process involved in how the mind uses neural geometry as its meshing system before overlaying that geometry with the bitmap of color, texture, and lighting. Your brain already accomplishes what has taken humans hundreds of thousands of years with computers to achieve. The brain has evolved into nature's version of a virtual reality simulator using information processing through a network of cells. Like I said, you are already a walking, talking reality rendering farm. But this is what you probably don't realize. What you're looking at right now is a form of highly organized thoughts that form the bitmap and neural geometry through cellular automation. This rendered interface of perception is what your mind thinks reality should look like based on sensory feedback. What you're looking at is really a form of thought rendered out as your experience of reality. I'll walk you through this so it becomes more apparent and self-evident. The interface is a composition of sensory forms, a language that you think in and may not even realize it. We've made it pretty easy and self-evident at this point to know that your mind is rendering sensory information by closing your eyes. Everything you are observing in this mind-generated interface is composed of thoughts. The same thoughts that shape your nighttime dreams. All dreams, including the ones that exhibit precognitive qualities, are a highly organized thought process. This process is part of a recursive feedback system that you have always had, which takes this higher order thought process and turns it into an experience. Now we need a few more thought exercises to see how you do in fact think in this programming language of dreams as nature's perfected virtual reality rendering farm. The first exercise is to demonstrate that you can think in visual forms. Close your eyes and imagine an apple. Take your time. See the apple form in the dark space within your mind. Give the apple a color, and although it may start to appear faint, allow your focus to bring in more contrast to this visualization. This demonstrates that you have the ability to think in images. The next exercise is how you think in audible forms. Remember a song you enjoy and think about the lyrics. Listen to your inner voice sing the song, or just think of a series of words and listen to the inner monologue of your voice as your thoughts form the sound. This audible monologue demonstrates that you have the ability to think in sound. These very simple processes are the basis of how dreams build up towards a higher order language to describe the dream experience. This foundation of sensory thinking programs the dream content. When you start to sleep, you begin to shift into altered states of consciousness. Within these altered states, your thoughts naturally start to form and shape dream content. However, for many people, they have come to believe that to sleep, one must turn off the waking mind, and like closing your eyes, the rich dream content is lost to a state of sleep-induced amnesia. Consider that a bad habit. Dream studies show that even though you may not remember your dreams, the mind produces approximately 5 to 6 dreams a night. How many of these dreams do you remember when you wake up? Most people do not remember any dreams. Those that do are more likely to encounter the experience of déjà vu, as it takes having memory from this altered state to match the patterns of dreamed experience with the future moment of déjà vu. For most people, the experience of déjà vu linked to past dreams, known as déjà rêve, happens in an unconscious state, meaning that while in that specific type of dream, they are not awake or lucid during that dream. This begs the next question. Have you ever had a lucid dream? Lucid dreaming is the act of remaining conscious during sleep to actively participate in the dream experience. It has been scientifically proven that people can obtain full waking awareness during sleep from sleep studies from the 1970s onward. More evidence has come forward with EEG and fMRI scans showing a significant increase of brain activity for lucid dreamers versus non-lucid dreamers. If we can be conscious during sleep, why is it that so many people are not? Science has already proven this to be fact, yet we have no interest in our educational system to teach a very simple skill that requires only attention focusing to access dream experiences consciously. Where are all the people with PhDs in conscious dreaming? If there is a link to reality through dreams, doesn't that suggest that one should perhaps actively engage in this experience through conscious exploration? Perhaps you are already a lucid dreamer, and this experience is well known to you. If so, let me ask you another question. Did you ever have a lucid dream that later came true as part of your déjà experience? If the answer is yes, know that very few people living today have been that fortunate. In my 20 years of researching this experience in other people, I've only met 5 people who have lucid precognitive dreams. If you have had a lucid precognitive dream, have you ever changed the dream during that runtime experience? Did those changes happen when the dream came true following the same processes found in your déjà experience? Of the 5 I've spoken with, only 2 have discussed changing dream content to later observe those changes happen here. This has been described by Robert Wagner, the former president for the International Association for the Study of Dreams, in his book Lucid Dreaming: Gateway to the Inner Self, as active lucid precognitive dreams. If you do not have déjà rêve, then perhaps learning to dream and also participate in this nighttime activity will open up an opportunity to explore the deep mystery discussed in this video. The solution is not to dream less, but to dream more, and through a process of self-edification, learn what it means to be a dreamer through the very act of consciously dreaming. Become a pioneer of yourself and see through first-person experience that you can bridge into this covert relationship between dreams and reality. To better understand the dream hypothesis, it's not to read about it, but to live within it through actively participating in your own dreams, learning to navigate and explore these altered states of consciousness with full wakefulness. Through this experience, you will find that dreams are the programming language of all experience, and the computer running the simulation is a much larger part of yourself. You are given an opportunity each time you sleep to dream. It is what you choose to do with that opportunity which can help you awake from the deep immersion and see that you are living a dream that lasts a lifetime. Be conscious when you sleep. Do this often. When there, navigate to the specific band of dreaming known as the precognitive layer. You will know when you have succeeded because your success will appear later on, triggering a sense of déjà vu linked to that dream, and you will know through this experience that the dream hypothesis is more than just a theory, but the foundation of all reality. If you like this video and have had similar experiences as described, you are not alone. Many people have déjà rêve, and come to knowing this by having information available discussing this topic. Please share this video so other people such as yourself can have a renewed perspective and start their own journey into their own relationship with their own dreams as an act of self-edification. If you want more videos on this topic, please click the subscribe button and like this video.